Hello, everyone. I'm Mikkel Bryson-Campbell, Executive Director of the Sarnia Lambton Workforce Development Board. I'm delighted today to be joined by Sarah Reaume, CEO of Community Futures Sarnia Lambton. Welcome, Sarah.
It's just a pleasure to be here, Mikkel.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really excited today. We're going to talk a little bit about entrepreneurs and some of the journey of entrepreneurs. And one of the things I would like to start with is just tell me a bit about yourself, your organization, and what it does for the community here in Sarnia Lambton.
A super question and a good one to start with. Community Futures Lambton is one of 260 odd Community Futures organizations across Canada. We're a nonprofit corporation and operationally funded by the federal government, and put in place initially, we're in our 37th year, but put in place initially by the government to provide support to entrepreneurs in rural environments, rural being populations of under 100,000. So we basically, Mikkel, have three service streams. We provide up to $300,000 in funding for new and existing businesses, small and medium-sized businesses. And that loan funding can be for new business startups. It could be for marketing, for a pivot, for operational funding, cash flow, equipment, that sort of thing. So, many possible uses there. We've pushed about $50 million out into the community to this point in time. And that's realized into just over 10,000 jobs and has allowed us to serve almost 900 businesses. So we've got about 8 million out in the community right now in business loans and another 5 million available to lend. So that's service stream number one. The second stream that we offer to entrepreneurs is free of charge coaching and support services. And that's for the whole life cycle of the business. So someone might come to us to spitball a new business idea. They want to talk to somebody to see if their idea has legs. Or they might come to us for assistance with a business plan or marketing plan or whatever that might be, right up to and including an exit strategy, because maybe they've been in business for a really long time and it's time for them to step away.
Wow. So
that's number two. The third is community economic development, and that has several different phases. We support youth entrepreneurship with the YMCA. We're the sponsor this year of the Young Professionals Gathering every month through the Chamber. We do in-community office hours and on-demand workshops with our local municipalities. So that's how we sort of address that third strand. So the combination of all of those is intended to offer support to entrepreneurs and to kind of be with them for the whole ride, if you like, depending upon where they are in their particular business journey.
Wow, that's just so fascinating. I've just learned so much new about your organization, and 37 years, that's impressive. Do you see sort of a change in when an entrepreneur or a budding entrepreneur walks through your doors, what they're looking for? What do they most often come in for, would you say, if you had to guess?
I think probably people come to us most often for information. It's that understanding, I don't know what I don't know. Or someone has, one of our economic development partners within the community has referred them to our attention, and they come in for information, whether that's for a referral to another agency or they come in to say that it's really a dream sharing, right? This is what I'd like to do as an entrepreneur, and I'm not quite sure where I go next or what I should do next. So a lot of the support that we provide is pretty fundamental questions, and then that allows us to almost triage. Where do you need support from us? Are you looking for funding? Are you looking for support? Is there someone else in the community that might be better able to serve or support you? So I would say that's probably predominantly the folks, Mikkel, that come through the door.
Right, and the folks that come through your door, have they experienced challenges by the time they come to you, or do they speak of sort of any challenges or roadblocks along the way yet?
Roadblocks along the way, I think I think being an entrepreneur, especially in a small business environment, is a very lonely endeavor. It's not like you've gathered together a huge support network initially where, you can express your concerns or ask questions so I think one of the first barriers is stepping out to say, I don't know everything and I might need help. And if I might digress a little bit, I think this is where often entrepreneurs find the biggest challenge is that the old adage, fail to plan to fail. I haven't, it's that feeling that, I don't want to work for the man. I want to start my own business. I want to work on my own and I'm going to make lots of money. And that's all very admirable, but it needs to be tempered with very intentional thought and planning around the financial bit, the expectation bit, the market bit, all of those pieces that come together to make a business successful. So I think often the first step is that entrepreneur understanding that's maybe bigger than putting a sign out and opening a door. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And in some of the research we've been doing and talking to entrepreneurs, we've been hearing that where do you start? You don't know what you don't know. And do they talk about other programs, or are they looking for other community programs in the community as well?
I don't know that we hear so much about folks looking for other programs. I mean, the entrepreneurs that find their way to our door, as I said, they're at different stages. Either I have a really good idea, but I don't know whether it's got enough legs to go anywhere. So I want to talk someone through that. And when we have tools that we use and coaching tools that we use to help them through that. We have others that come and they know absolutely what they want. They maybe have had struggled with getting financing through conventional lenders, either because those lenders, it's maybe not a high enough price point or loan point for lenders to be interested in. In our particular instance, Mikkel, we have a higher risk tolerance than a bank would have. So, and that's reflected in interest rates. So our funder requires us to start at prime plus 2. And then if there's additional risk, then that's reflected in the interest rates. But where a conventional lender might, and that's a pain point for many folks, but where a conventional lender is really concerned with whether or not you have the collateral to cover the loan, and that's the foundational piece of that 5 C's of lending. Our foundational piece is character and your capacity to deliver on your business, and then with collateral at the top. So it's not unusual for us to loan money when we don't have 100% security, but we really believe in the entrepreneur. So, the challenge piece to it, often there's financial challenges. And in all honesty, sometimes we have to say no to folks because, we can't be the only one with skin in the game too. I've got this really good idea and I need you to give me $300,000 to do it. Our piece is always, well, we would want to know that, we're both involved in this, and, that's part of that decision making as well. So the pain points, the challenges from other agencies, I think that so much changes situationally, and depending upon where I am in my entrepreneurial journey and what it is I might be seeking or looking for, sort of dictates, can we assist you, or can we refer to you to someone else who maybe can?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And it really sounds like, everything I'm hearing, you really can cater to a variety of entrepreneurs at different levels and different journeys. And do you see a variety of entrepreneurs in their journey in terms of their experience or where they may be at in their journey?
Yes, we do. And we have everybody from the guy who wants to open a barber shop on Main Street in Petrolia to a multi-million-dollar business idea where we might be in partnership with the BDC or perhaps with another major lender. It runs the gamut. It can be larger business concerns. I mean, we don't get into the big Chemical Valley sort of,
Sure.
Where there's major corporations. That's, they're going to go to different sources for that. But, for those businesses, 1 to 5 employees, 1 to 7 employees, it's more often the 1 or 2 employees. And I've got a really good idea for, but, our willingness to take a second position in a financial, as I said, we've got a higher appetite for risk. So if we can't help 100%, we can reach out to the BDC, reach out to others of our partners in the community and see if we can maybe open doors that allow people to get answers that we can't help with.
Super. I've just really enjoyed learning more about the services you offer. So one final question. Any advice to entrepreneurs that you would give?
I would say, and we do say all the time, is take the time to make a plan. And I think so many of our entrepreneurs come out the other end of this, Mikkel, saying it's not so much the sheaf of paper that I have when I come out the other end of a business planning process. It's that the process has made me get hip deep in every part of the business that so I've thought about my customer personas. I've thought about the marketing plan. I've done a risk evaluation. So, what am I going to do if A, B, or C happens? I've thought really, because it's a piece that's strong for us, is I've really thought about the financial piece of it. Because we ask folks to do sort of a sensitivity analysis. Often entrepreneurs budget revenue high and expenses very low because they really believe in themselves, and that's a good thing. But we put folks through their paces so that their revenue and expense projections are sound. They've got a sense of what cash flow looks like. They've got a sense of where their hiccups might be in their business. And I think the biggest advice for entrepreneurs would be to take the time to go through the business plan process, because with it is also that deep dive into the financial side of your business. We don't want anybody to be surprised. We don't want anyone to say, I've got this really good business idea. I jumped in and then realized, I didn't think this through enough. And that's happened. I had a client come and say, I want to borrow $150,000 because I want a food truck. And we said, well, let's work through the business planning process. He never bought the food truck. He's instead working in a rented commercial kitchen and doing what he really wanted to do, which was feed people in a different way, right? And without that planning process, without going through that exercise, he might have found himself in debt, doing something that he wasn't prepared to do and hadn't really thought through. So you maybe got a $2 answer instead of a 21 or 20-cent one on that one. But we really strongly believe in the plan and in the financials that support the plan, and really believe that that's foundational to success for an entrepreneur.
Well, that's super, and it sounds like really great advice.
Yeah.
Thank you all for joining me with Sarah Reaume, CEO of Community Futures Lambton.